Hey, what's up, Doomers, and welcome back. So Doom, the game, has been out for a couple of weeks now, and we've all been loving the multiplayer modes and the campaign modes, but more importantly, what we're going to talk about today in this particular video is the Snapmap tool. And more to the point, we want to know what's next for the Snapmap system, because we all like it, we want it to be enhanced, we want it to be developed, and we want it to grow. And this is going to be a really cool thing for the Doom community and all potential map designers out there. At the moment, people are uploading some really cool designs and map ideas, and people have enjoyed playing them, but there are some positives and negatives which we're going to highlight in a minute. Now, from my side of things, I've actually been using the tool for the last couple of weeks, and I've actually been creating and designing maps more than I've actually been playing, and that goes to show the level of immersion of this editor tool. I mean, it's such good fun, it's great to actually design things, and it's great to publish it for you guys out there in the Doom community. And the really cool thing is that I'm not alone on this thought. There's loads of you out there who are enjoying creating maps as well and uploading them. So I've been using the Snapmap system for the last couple of weeks, and I've broken it down into sort of 5 key elements, and the first one is the palette. Now, this is absolutely essential for all you map designers out there, because if it runs stale after about 6 months, then all these maps will sort of dry out. Now, the palette has got sort of things like your room modules in there, all different shapes, sizes and designs. You've got demons, you've got objects, you've got game variables and game flow mechanics, and all the music and sound effects. Now, we do need additional content every 6 months to prolong the longevity of this Snapmap tool and to keep these maps flowing in the Doom community. It's absolutely essential. So Bethesda, if you are listening, please release this additional expansion pack just for the Snapmap tool. Now, the second element is construction. Now, as you view your map in blueprint mode, you're going to see that you've got a limited footprint area, and what will be really cool is if they can increase this by at least 25% to give us a bigger play area so we can create bigger maps. Now, in design mode at the top of your screen, you've got network, objects, memory and demons, and there's an official 100% cap limit on all of these resources, but there's also an unofficial 75% soft cap limit. So the thing is, whilst creating maps over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that if I've gone over the 75% on one or two of the resources, I've found that things start to bug out. Logic starts to break and things just don't work. Things start going strange. So Bethesda, you really need to look into your code of all of these resources and how it's allocated, because things start going weird. And you know, it's a bit of a shame because people who are creating these maps or designing tend to lose a lot of their work or have to lose hours of work they put into it. Now, the third element is about the logic. Now, overall, I found the logic quite impressive. It's really easy to understand and great to get into in terms of what you can do in terms of tricks within your map design. Now, the thing is, there are a few little stumbling blocks in terms of the integers, the variables and the booleans and things like that. This needs to be broken down for people out there that don't really understand it, and to make it a little bit easier for people to incorporate some of the hardcore elements of their map design and the coding or logic behind it. So on occasions, and this is not related to the resource issue, I've found that some of the actual logic does tend to freeze or lock up, so you can't actually get into the properties of it anymore, and you can't even delete it, and it's just stuck there. So it does create issues if you're like, 15 hours into creating a map and then some of your logic doesn't work. You can't delete it, you can't remove it, you can't change it, there's nothing you can do. So again, this is a little bug or an element that Bethesda need to look into. Now, the fourth element is colouring. So we can change a flame which is animated from red to green to blue, but we can't do the same with a static object such as a barrel or a crate. It just doesn't make sense. The logic is that this is an animated object which you can change, but you can't change a static object. Just doesn't make sense, and it'd be really cool if they could make that happen. And the other thing is, you can change your room's atmosphere into a different colour, red, blue, green, purple, whatever, but you can't do the same with your room module walls or anything like that. And again, something that really needs to be taken seriously, because all of us map designers out there, we want to be able to customise fully and create these great maps with great colouring. And moving on to our last element, and that is freedom of movement. Now, the thing is, we've got a lot of these huge room modules where there's a lot of space that you just can't utilise. Now, the thing is, you can actually incorporate or place, things like crates or floating platforms and things like that, but you can't actually spawn on top of them, but you can teleport on top of them. And this doesn't make sense. So it's a bit of coding I think they've left out somewhere, something they could incorporate later on. The other thing is, which would be really cool, is if we had moving floor panels, things like that, like lift lifts going up and down, because some of these room modules are enormous, and it would be really great if we could incorporate like moving platforms up and down or left to right, you know, things to create added dynamics to our map design. It's a really simple thing to do, and hopefully this is thought about and incorporated later on. Okay, so now that we've reviewed some of the key elements and identified some minor issues that will hopefully be addressed later on, overall I found that the Snapmap editor tool is amazing. It's really creative, it's great fun to use, and you know, it's creating all this additional content for everybody to play out there in the Doom community. I mean, it's all positive, cool stuff. So, you know, if you play the game, give yourself a go at the Snapmap tool and get creative and design some maps. It's as easy as that. And on that note, we're going to move on to the actual Snaphub and the community side of things. So the Snaphub is a centralized repository where you can upload your creative map designs and play other people's. And what this does, it gives you points or achievements as you play and upload. And what you can do with those points is spend them on things like customization for your weapons, your armor, or coloring. You know, there's all sorts of things you can spend it on. So in summary, the more you do on the Snaphub in terms of being creative or playing the games that other people have uploaded, the more points you get. So it's a great incentive overall. Now on the Snaphub you can also browse hundreds and thousands of maps that have been uploaded, and the thing is, you've got top rated maps, you've got new maps, you've got popular maps. There's all different sections, and what would be really cool is if we had a choice of view. Now at the moment you've got rather large sort of postcard size browsing methods. What would be great is if they could change that to a thumbnail or a list view, so you can scroll down, because as you can see here, when you're scrolling through it does get a little bit clunky and the user interface tends to sort of go a bit strange. But if they change the view or gave you a choice of your views, that would make things a lot better overall. On the user interface, you may notice that there are a few little bugs and issues with navigation and moving around. Now the thing is, what you'll find is on a lot of the panels you'll see scroll bars, but when you try and use these scroll bars using your mouse, if you're on a PC, you'll find that it will move panels within your Windows operating system and not within the user interface, which is a bit strange. So they may need to work on that. The other thing is you've got all these buttons such as escape, back, left, right, whatever. The thing is that some of those buttons change around, and they're not really easy to use or very friendly to use. So it'd be nice if they made sort of proper buttons rather than just hyperlinks. It'd be a lot easier and make navigation around the Snaphub user interface a lot easier for us users. Okay, so lastly we move on to one other point that I raised before in another video, and that is the fact that, as you can see in the list here, probably about 30% of the maps that have new uploaded maps are incomplete or just up there for test purposes, and this defeats the object of the Snaphub and what it's supposed to do in terms of rejecting maps that are incomplete or wrong. You know, the thing is, a simple algorithm will correct this by screening the logic, screening the map design. So if your network objects, memory or daemons are above a certain threshold or the soft cap limit, then it will simply reject it because they're unplayable. Now the thing is, you've also got all of these things here that say test, incomplete and all that, and people don't want to waste their times uploading them, playing them and finding out they're broke. If you had an algorithm that screened the logic to say, okay, the first door you start in after your spawn point is locked and they forgot to activate that door, then it will go back to you with a report to say, this is the problem with your logic, please correct it before uploading again. It's a simple process. You know, just find the logic, follow the paths. I'm sure there's something that can screen all of the logic and the actual the map itself. It's quite easy to do, I'm sure. Just a bit of coding and away we go. And once that's done, we're going to filter out all of this shit that gets uploaded, so we've only got great positive maps within the Snaphub and Doom community. So in summary, the Snaphub is a really cool place to be. I mean, in terms of like additional content to download and play, the creative side of it, the community side of it, it's all really good and positive stuff. But you know, it is work in progress, and I'm sure they're going to iron out all these issues over time. Now, to finalise this video, I will say that the Snapmap system in its entirety is simply brilliant, and it's a great addition to the Doom game and something that everybody should try at least once. So what I'm saying to you guys is get creative, start designing your maps and upload them so we can all play them. It's as simple as that. And if you've got a map you want reviewing, then list your tag below in the comments, and we'll review it, we'll live stream it, and we'll play it. As simple as that. It's so easy to do. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please like and sub. Stay cool, stay great, stay doomy.